Hey cookies, welcome back to another episode of The Gray Edit. Today's focus is about winter style and more specifically, how to stop dressing on autopilot because it's cold, which is so easy. This isn't a trends video and it's not a shopping haul. This is about learning how to look at your clothes differently. And so when you do shop, whether it's designer, thrifted, or affordable, whatever, you know exactly what you're looking for when it comes to how to style yourself if you need help. And yes, I will link everything I can. If something is like sold out or out of budget, I'll give similar options on my Shop My LTK. So this is about inspiration. Let's focus. Let's start with the winter uniform. So I do believe look number one is something that we've all can relate to. I got my oversized V-neck sweater. This is a cashmere sweater from Skims, actually. These are Spanx leggings that actually have like a little bit of like faux boning here at the top of the waist. And then Old Faithfuls from like, 2019, 2020, some lug boots from Prada that are perfect for winter wear. And yes, this is definitely my winter uniform and there's nothing wrong with it. I could wear it often if I wanted to. And sometimes it's a heavy repeat, but this is what I'm saying. When we have outfits like this that we kind of just rely on and just reach for every time and just change out the jacket and the bag, that's fine. But it causes us to basically forget about everything else that we have in our wardrobe. So that's why it's fine. There's nothing wrong with a uniform. It's great to have a uniform concept, especially when you're rushed for time or you're not in a great mood and there are things that just work for you and make you feel supported, grounded, and pulled together. There's nothing wrong with something like this. But this is what a lot of our winter uniforms look like. Some people's looks like a sweatsuit set, which is, again, fine. You could put a pair of Ugg boots on and a big old coat and all the things, but at a certain point when it's repetitious in a way where you're kind of like on autopilot, that's where it kind of gets a little like, hey, let's spruce things up a little bit. We can use the same staple pieces, but we could think of them a little bit differently. And let's tap into the conversation of silhouette. Okay, so let's get into look number two. Now, this is about silhouette. Let's focus on silhouette. This is obviously the same sweater as look one, but everything changed when the silhouette changed, okay? These wide leg pants, they are a staple for me. I've had them since 2019. They're on sale, Bottega, and I still reach for them. So when you're shopping for a pant like this, if it fits your personal style, look for something strong, a straight drop from the hip, weight in the fabric, and an inseam that gives you options with like a heel or flat or a boot, a sneaker. Like a good wide leg does not follow trends or anything like that. It just follows your proportions. And the shape is sharp enough that it gives you a slouchy sweater intention. The other thing too, now this jacket is from the Frankie shop and it wings out in the back. And that shape alone makes the outfit feel super styled when the silhouette is like, it's interesting, and it doesn't matter what color it is. Again, if like you're looking for outerwear with shape like this, ask yourself, does it create a line? Does it change my posture? Does it hold its own over knits? So I'll style this, I'll link this jacket and options and stuff, but silhouette is something that you can train your eye for sure. But I love this look, and we'll get into a conversation about texture next. But I just love the fact that originally I had gotten this for my mother for her photo shoot, but she didn't want to take it home. And I was like, I'll keep it for whenever you want to come back to New York and wear it. You know what I'm saying? But I just love how everything flows, and it's monochromatic, essentially, all black shade. And it just fits really well. And so many different body types can own a silhouette and feel really confident in this. Let's switch the conversation to texture, since we did kind of touch on it because this is a faux leather vinyl aesthetic. Let me show you what else you can do with texture. Okay, so let's talk about texture. Let's talk about texture, because this is where personality starts speaking. It's less about asking yourself, do these colors work well? Which that's a whole other conversation, color theory, don't get me wrong. But asking yourself, do these materials talk to each other? I know this outfit's a little quirky. It's a little outside the box, right? Not for everybody, but we're talking about something that is sleek and shiny and structured, and then pairing it back to something that's kind of loosey-goosey, a little bit of sheen and lace, lightweight. And then we paired it back with these boots from, oh my God, I don't even know what year these are, but a cream boot, right? And then underneath we have the same cashmere elevated basic sweater, right? Again, Frankie Shop, Free People, Bloomers, and then Old Bottega and Skims sweater. I think it's just about having fun. And I often look at wardrobing or just styling myself personally at how clothes make me feel. So obviously when it comes to the conversation of texture and leaning more into that, it's really about how do these pieces feel together. You know, I feel that, yes, in the wintertime, it is an opportunity to layer up with all the thick wool pieces, but also it's a moment for you to play with layers as well. It's an opportune moment for layers and to have fun with it. But yeah, you might show up to a place and have to peel off a couple layers just to like not sweat and schwitz to death. But like you definitely can play with some things that come from spring, summer and add it to what you're doing in the colder month. You just have to layer up. Like if anything, I will wear like some tights or compression shorts underneath this just to have another tight fitted layer onto my body that creates some warmth. But this is just something really fun to play with. If you really wanted to let's discuss a little bit more texture, because this was another outfit option I was considering of showing altogether. Now, I have this really beautiful lacy top with these bell sleeves, right? And then we have a shacket.
Let me get that shacket.
If I really wanted to, this is like a soft boiled wool shacket. If I really wanted to, I could wear this and let the bell come out the sleeve like that, little dramatics for you, and then wearing it with the cream bloomers, right? And then with this, because it doesn't have to all be dark color black. Now, wearing black is my favorite thing. Don't play with me. I love a little bit of color. The most color I do is a butter yellow, maybe some burgundy and whatnot. But I do think that if I wanted to flip the switch a little bit when it comes to playing with textures and some of these other pieces, I would do another monochromatic moment as well. Some people might want to do a dash of color, and it really is to each their own. It really is about personal style, honing in on it, but just having a little bit of a different conversation about how we pick and choose the color. What does it mean to the texture? What does it mean in theory? What does it mean to focus or have some insight on silhouette and your body type and what you feel more comfortable in? I also feel like someone like my mom, because originally this is my mom's jacket. I bought it for her photo shoot. She didn't want to take it home. She was like, I don't go enough places to wear anything like this. I said, that's okay. I'm going to save it for when you come back to New York, and when we go to the shows and stuff, you can throw this bad boy on because it's cute. And she has such like a hard time accepting me to style her for that shoot, because she's always like, you always wear things so oversized and blah, blah, blah. It's not me. It's not me. It makes me look bigger. But in the photo shoot, she learned that sometimes certain oversized pieces, when you style it a certain way for a particular body type, it doesn't make you look bigger. We just have to pay attention to details. Let's get into the next topic. I don't even know what look number we're on, but let's discuss same outfit in a different shoe, right? You have your same pieces, your same formula on top, the base fit, but then the shoe can change everything. So starting from the top, this is a cashmere zip-up hoodie, obviously, from Aritzia. That is really cute. And I got my actual size in. I think it's a smaller medium. And then these pants are thrifted Isabel Marant, like a velvety, beautiful, like almost kind of like a barrel pant, but I really like the shape of this pant. I'm going to put my Alayas on, okay? And stuff them in there like really Parisian.
Bonjour, mademoiselle.
Right? And obviously, being an all black outfit you know, the shoes with this particular fun print and even the silhouette of the shoe, it gives a smooth pop to the outfit. It creates dimension even more. There is something that is kind of unexpected. You could throw on a beautiful black wool coat over something like this and it just will look so chic. Okay, so we have this look one with the shoe, with this boot. I love these boots. Like, truly, I feel like this is definitely me in a boot. Like, if I had to pick a boot or a shoe to express exactly who I am in a winter, it's her. Now let's switch over to a ballet flat. Now, granted, let me show y'all up close. This shoe has really fun, unique, velvety texture. Again, texture comes up in winter wear like this, right? In a beautiful chartreuse color. And you put them on an outfit like this, it's a little bit more playful, a little bit more grounded, or just like relaxed. That's the word. It just feels way more relaxed and just put together. Any kind of ballet flat, any kind of loafer, a pair of sneakers, but it changes the vibe when you figure out the shoe. And I feel like when you're shopping for a shoe, when I'm shopping for a shoe, I look for personality within that particular item. You know, I'm looking at colors and textures or skins or embossed materials and what that looks like, the depth of it, the shape of a shoe. It can really just tell a different story. And I feel like shoes don't really finish a look. It just allows for it to thrive. And I think that's why I'm such a shoe girl. I'm a shoe whore. Because you can wear, like, I remember one of my dad's friends, she always said, if you have a good boot, a good coat, and a good bag, you can wear a white t-shirt and a pair of jeans every day of your life and swap out the other things, and it's stunning. And for a long time, that was just my focus. I love a good coat. I love a good coat. I love a good coat. You'll see them. I love a good shoe. And now I'm becoming more well-versed in the bag space, right? But I think that when you change the shoe options, you can do a lot of different looks. Like, you could actually lean into the winter uniform a lot more, and no one really pick up on it if your shoe game is nuts. You know, like it really can change a lot of things. Now, I'm gonna keep this outfit on, and let's switch into the next topic. Hold on, let me get my things. Hold on. Now, let's get into the conversation of jewelry as armor, okay? Because same outfit, but the reality is jewelry in the winter has to compete with layers. In the winter, jewelry isn't just decoration, it's structure, it's sculptural pieces holding their own against the knits, you know, and one strong accessory can do more than 5 small ones, okay? Now, this is where individuality really comes through. So instead of just like delicate pieces, look for weight, look for scale, look for structural shapes. When you shop for jewelry, also ask yourself this: can this stand on its own over a sweater? Does it feel intentional? Is it just decorative? I know how interested y'all are like in my jewelry and my rings and everything. I will start to make a running list of different jewelry brands and pieces that really scream at me and I love, or just some like low-key vintage resellers of beautiful jewelry. Now, just sage them things when you buy them, because you never know what kind of person wore them before you. Sage that spirit out. Rebuke them in the name. Anyway, but do you see how this kind of just changes the whole shebang? You know, it's because you added a bit of jewelry. Now, these pieces I have are from, I don't know, H&M, Zara. This is Dylan Lax, you know, but just making sure that it's very Schiaparelli to like add a little bit of gold adornment. I know you guys don't actually see me wear a lot of gold these days, but I'm kind of tapping back in. I'm a lot in. Jewelry just has an individual appeal, because I find that, sure, you can like brands like, what's that? There's like a bunch of brands that are very mainstream when it comes to jewelry, like very dainty pieces. and all that. And I love and I get that. But I love the brands like Ideal that you can change how you wear it and assort it. Brands like Dylan Lex that have a lot of personality per piece and they're limited, as far as units and quantities. But I just feel that jewelry can also, like a shoe, just amplify and bring a whole nother level of conversation and expression of who you are. And in the winter, it's just, yes, I understand a lot of times we assume this is going to fall under a sweater or the sleeve is going to cover it. No, no, my dear, get the pieces that fit over a knit and also that you don't have to worry about slipping off when you're moving and grooving around, hustling and bustling and don't even realize something's falling off you. Just get the pieces that do hold on, okay? Let's get into the next look. I don't even know what number look. Where are we in the looks, Kim? Let the people know. Technically, I believe we're at look 6. So this is about the intentional wrong choice. This is the wrong choice on purpose. Now, we got a tracksuit, and that usually wants sneakers. So I gave it jewelry and some heels. So one wrong thing tells people this is styled. This is about contrast. Y'all hear me talk about juxtaposition all the time. It's a beautiful tension between clothes. When you want to style casual pieces, think, could this handle something dressy? Does it have structure or detail that allows for some kind of contrast that would be fun? That tension is what makes it feel even more personal. So this tracksuit is from Martine Rose, and it does have an intentional design that could be considered wrong, but it is unique, it's special, and it's fun. And it's basically, instead of just a regular zip, it is one of those pieces where you could just button the top over here, and it's like a little drape scarf moment. The track pants are just as normal, okay? But I paired it with a white heel that has like this beautiful rouging leather detail on there with a knot on the heel. Another kind of wrong choice within design. It's not something you expect. And like I said, you wear a tracksuit, you automatically want to wear a sneaker. So a white sneaker too, especially with this colorway. I was like, instead of a white sneaker, let's do a white pump. And it just works really well. You'll notice that I'm not really pulling bags and coats into these conversations because I do feel like bags and coats, especially in the winter, it can overpower what's underneath. And like I said before, we can do our winter uniform with whatever coat, whatever bag, whatever shoe that we want to do, and it look really refreshing and new. But if we want to shop all year round, especially for us East Coasters that love the wintertime, love the fall time, because that's when style shows the most, right? We all say that. We get ready and geared up for these moments and have so much fun eyeing the best leathers and furs and all this other stuff, but then we forget to wear them and use them, and then they just sit in our closets staring back at us like she just gonna pick that same old sweater again. Did she even wash them leggings? That's all I'm saying. Let's get into the final look. Final look, let's talk about it. Refinement, repetition. We have a pair of wide leg black pants again. We have the same zippered hoodie from earlier from Aritzia. Nice knit texture, silhouette, suits me and what I'm going for. Cozy, refined, and put together. And I reached for something that is super unique in my closet, and all that was intentional, even down to something I always reach for when I'm shopping for sneakers. Let's discuss repetition and refinement, because this is where personal style actually forms. Repeating your pieces, having elevated basics, and refining how you wear them. You love them, wear them again and again. That's not boring. That's identity. Style deepens when you stop chasing everything. This is where it really lives. Rewearing pieces and tweaking them every single time with other pieces in your closet, that is where, and especially with unique pieces you've been sitting on, this is the year to mix them in and wear the shit out of them. And that's a small change to make. When you shop for elevated basics too, or reach for them, you want to think about, will I continuously wear this year after year? Can I style it more than one way? And with other things in my wardrobe, that's how your wardrobe becomes intentional instead of overwhelming you every single time and it feels like you have nothing to wear. Now we have some guest in residence black cashmere Listen, I said this year, this winter, I'm going to be wrapped up in cashmere. Call me bougie if you want to. Natural fibers only going forward. Okay. I might have a lot of polyester already up in here. I can't do nothing about it now. It's in here. I could just refine, edit all the things. But I said this winter going to be the winter for cashmere. And then we have the Aritzia hoodie that I had on earlier with the 2 different shoes, right? And this Diotima sample sale piece that is just, she's a stunner. She's a stunner, right? But I said, I want to feel cozy. I want to feel unique too. How do I do that? I paid attention to silhouette. I paid attention to texture, another form of texture. And I paid attention to just being intentional about reaching for something that I wouldn't typically reach for, but wanting to feel stand out with a standout piece. Come on. Come on, cookies. Let's think about it. And then if you want to, I'm trying not to do too many accessories or things that might overwhelm or look like a coat or a bag. But if you really, come on. Come. And y'all know, if you've been following me long enough, if you're not new around here, I love a good 70s Chuck Taylor. It's a narrow toe and it just fits the foot way better than a regular pair of Converses. They're a little wide and a bit doofy, if you ask me. Sorry, they just look like they clonk really heavy in the front, and I don't like that. But these have a bit of a narrow toe, and it looks a lot more refined. And that's why I repeatedly wear these with so many things, whether it's a suit, this type of outfit, a pair of jeans, a skirt, a dress. It doesn't matter. I feel like these types of sneakers can go with so many different things. And I've really been into my chartreuse color bag since last year. I love this yellow green. Anyway, lean in. Reach for your basics, right? Reach for your uniform, but throw in something to tweak it, to make it something else. Get the conversation going. Let's close out. Now, can I get up on you to close this out? Do you mind if I get up on you? Listen to what I'm saying. Everything you saw here is linked. And if it's sold out or out of budget, I have thoughtfully added alternatives to my Shop My and my LTK. Please look for the link below. The goal is not to copy these outfits. It is to train your eye. Okay. Now, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure that you're subscribed. If you're not, I post fashion conversations like this regularly. Okay. Not trends for trend's sake, but real style thinking. Yes. And if you're already a part of the cookie community, I love and appreciate you. Thank you for coming back and sticking with me. And as I've been saying as of lately, style with clarity, live with intention, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, cookies.